Welcome to the Glen Burnie Saleyards this morning. Very special morning for the industry today. The Prime Minister's visited us here today, Tony Abbott, and he's wandering around talking to all the farmers and the agents and the processors, and he's really getting in amongst it, which is great.
Yes, it is good to be here at the Saleyards, and as is very clear, the cattle industry in particular has picked up massively under the coalition government. The former government damaged the cattle industry very badly with the live cattle ban, live cattle export ban to Indonesia. This was one of the most calamitous policy decisions ever taken by an Australian government. It badly damaged our relations with Indonesia, and it badly damaged the cattle industry here in Australia. Thank God that's all behind us now. The live cattle exports to Indonesia are booming, and thanks to the free trade agreement, we have got tariffs on Australian beef exports to Japan halving, and we've got tariffs on Australian beef exports to China and Korea disappearing. So this is really good news for the Australian cattle industry. It's good news for the agricultural sector more generally, and I'm very pleased to be able to help the agricultural sector in this way. Agriculture has been an enormous part of our economic history, but it's a very big part of our economic future as well. A really important part of our economic future. The middle classes of Asia are growing and growing, and as time goes by there's going to be more and more opportunity for high quality Australian food exports, whether it be beef, whether it be lamb, whether it be wine, whether it be seafood, and obviously this part of Australia, this part of South Australia is particularly well placed to ensure that high quality Australian beef, high quality Australian seafood, terrific lamb and terrific wines go to the booming economies of our north. And thank you, Tony, for the work that you've done to keep the industries of this area before the minds of policymakers.
Anyway, start on our run of cattle today. Our quality wasn't as good today, but the prices were still the same. Starting on these milk teeth cattle, they're all still making $2.25 a kilogram. This pen of black steers here, they milk teeth, $2.28, just a bit neater in the quality, but they've been running on irrigation, these cattle. All these pens through here have been around that $2.25 a kilogram. Milk teeth. This pen, they're all the younger cattle, the milk teeth cattle. We're starting now on the older cattle. These cattle here are 4 and 6 teeth. As you can see, just starting to tell the season, you know, the season's been against them a bit, and they're just starting to get plainer in condition. But they still made $2.06 a kilogram, these bullocks, and it's pretty handy money for cattle just on the slide. Same thing here, these cattle here just starting to go off, but still making well over $2 a kilo, so it's pretty handy money for this time of year. We're starting a run of crossbred bullocks, and the people who own these bullocks here, they reared them on the bucket, and just have a look at them. They're great quality. They're the Frisian Angus cross. Now these bullocks today, the 2 pens of them, there's about 40 over 2 pens, and Midfield bought them for $1.88 a kilogram for both pens, and I think it's a hell of a good price for crossbred cattle. Finishing our run up on, you know, a run of these sort of crossbred and plain condition cattle, still making $1.88.90 a kilogram. We go around further, but we go around a bit further and we've got more crossbred cattle, but today we had a couple of hundred bullocks again, but nowhere near the quality of normal. But you know, unfortunately that's going to be the way it is for a while with the way the season is. It's got very dry, and there's not much paddock feed, and the mornings got very cold now with the autumn the way it is. So the cattle are starting to slip, as you can see today, but it's amazing that the competition held up very well. I don't know whether they were just putting on a bit of a performance for the Prime Minister, or whether they were generally wanting them, but there's a lot of action in the buyers gallery this morning, and they're all showing a bit of strength. So anyway, we'll catch up with you again next week.